Right, welcome back to another tutorial video for Play Action Football, a new cards and dice football game from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. In this video, we're going to talk about the weather effects, sort of a part of the setup process if you're playing a game in an outdoor environment. And you want to add this. This is totally optional. You do not have to use the weather, but you can if you want to. It's a simple mechanic and can actually affect the gameplay. Recently played the 1985 NFC Championship game in extreme cold. Which it actually was played in extreme cold. I think the wind chills were down at 15 or 19 degrees, something like that, Fahrenheit. And so it was a cold game in Chicago in January, which it's gonna be at Soldier Field. And the weather did have an effect on the game. It actually had an effect on the away team, which led to an actually a pretty close score to what it was in real life, which was 24-0. I think they won 27-12. So the Rams were able to move the ball just a little bit, but that certainly added to the Bears' dominance in that game. And what we'll do is, to figure out the weather, you need 1d10. And you look to your special plays, kicking penalties, and special plays chart. And then all the way down here in the bottom right, you see weather. And you can see the forecast. We have precip or precipitation, temp or temperature, wind, perfect, or temperature and precipitation again. So you're rolling to see, is the weather perfect for the day, or is there some sort of bad weather happening? So you take your 1d10, you roll, it's a 10. So on this day, it's precipitation. So that's what we have to remember. And inside each game guide, you're going to have a list of stadiums, just like this. And these are all the outdoor stadiums. So this is 2023, and you can see all the outdoor stadiums names with their team. So let's say we're playing at Mile High Stadium where the Broncos play, and it is in August. So it won't be August. It will be, let's just say it's September, right? Early season game in at Mile High Stadium, and we have precipitation in the forecast. So we're going to go to the Broncos, and we're going to look to the August to October because we're playing in September. And then we're going to look in the precipitation column. So for the Broncos during this time, there's precipitation or bad weather, so it's going to be rain. And so you say, well, what does that mean? That there's rain? That's a good question. So we look to the next page. This is all from the game guide, and it comes like this. You can see it kind of walks through the process I just did. And once we get what the type of precipitation is, because it can be rain or snow depending on where it is. So if we had gotten precipitation, but we were playing in where the 49ers are, and it was November in San Francisco, you're going to get perfect weather, right? So as we look to what the adjustment means, we see that rain means a -1 adjustment on all offensive plays for home and away. So both teams are going to be affected as if the defense were better. So their offense is going to be affected because there's rain in the game. You can see that snow brings a -1 adjustment on offensive plays for home and away. Wind is a -1 adjustment on all field goals. So if you rolled a 6, it would be a 5, which puts you closer to missing. It could cause you to miss a field goal. That's for home and away. And for extreme heat and extreme cold, there's only a -1 adjustment for the away team only. So the thinking there is you probably built your team. You built the Bears to be able to play in December and January in the cold. And so it will affect a team coming in a lot more than it's going to affect Chicago. So a little bit of a interesting thing to do, and those are your in-game adjustments. Now you can use if you're using this score sheet that comes with the game, you can actually make your weather adjustments up here. So our weather adjustment is rain. It's a -1 for all offensive plays. So we'd write rain, and that's the weather. And then under here, a -1. Or you could even split it and say -1, -1 for just to let you know it's offensive defense. And then after you figure out the any team level adjustments between the offense and the defense, which are they're the adjustments that you make based off of these numbers here. So let's say Kansas City was playing against Kansas City. They have a +1 offense and a -2 defense. You add those together, that gives you a -1. And then that would be your adjustment here, would be -1. But then you have to take another -1 off for the weather. So you add those, and now it's a -2. So a -2 on every play against the Kansas City defense. And so that means that if you roll a 14, it's automatically a 12. So instead of an average of 5, you're going to have 4 yards, and that's a hard 4 yards. So you just lose out a little bit on offense. It makes it more difficult to continue drives, complete passes, get big plays, that type of thing. You really have to roll high on your D10s in order to make big plays. So weather can affect the game, will affect the game if you play with any weather adjustments.